Hi, welcome to Anaprime Recap. After suffering a serious accident, you wake up with an IQ of 160 and can see spirit creatures in the real world, as if they were both from the same place. Today we're gonna recap the anime, Dark Gathering, first season, episodes 1, 2 and 3. In Japan, a city is known for the many fatal accidents that occur there due to mysterious causes. There lives a peculiar child known as Yayoi, who holds her doll that is hanging by a rope, and promises herself that he will find her prey, even if it hides. On the other hand, Keitaro Gentoga is the freshman with the highest score in Ryo University's entrance exam, which is why he has been classified as the representative of the new incoming class. After being invited to give a speech in front of all the students, the young man begins his speech by expressing his dislike of supernatural beings. Soon after, he tries to take a selfie with his friend Eiko, but the image is distorted because a spirit has appeared next to him, since he has the power to attract such entities. Keitaro has been involved with an evil ghost before, and the situation ended up severely damaging one of his classmates. He felt guilty about this and locked himself in his room for a few years, until his best friend helped him get out of the house. In addition to receiving the title of class representative, the young man was also nominated by Eiko to be a tutor in the private Tutor Square program. Even after taking a big step towards getting his social life back on track, Keitaro is nervous about meeting his guidance counselor, who is called Yayoi Hazuka, one of the school's most promising and awkward students. He then goes to the girl's address and realizes that he has knocked on Eiko's door, who confesses that Yayoi is her cousin and is living with her. When he is introduced to the little girl, the young man is startled by her appearance, due to her gothic look and eyes that have two pupils each. However, she also notices something strange in Keitaro's right hand, something that no one else can see apart from the two of them. As the girl exudes a sinister aura, her guardian suggests that she get away from the stuffed animal immediately, but she begins to squeeze the toy harder and harder. After that, Keitaro realizes that his student is sensitive to spirits, just like him. She also discovers the teenager's abilities, so she invites him to visit a haunted place, with the intention of finding some entity, since the young man can attract the ghosts she adores. At the same time, he refuses his apprentice's invitation, but she threatens to call Private Square. Faced with this situation, the young man tries to ask Eiko for help, but she already has her car keys in hand, ready to drive to the haunted place. The two girls rely on the teenager's ability to sense spirits. Even so, he can't do anything to ward them off, so there's a risk of the situation becoming dangerous. When the car is a kilometer away from its destination, Keitaro starts to get goosebumps, making him beg to go back to a safe place. Even so, Yayoi makes the driver speed up the vehicle even more. In fact, the haunted place is a phone booth, which carries the horrific story of a beautiful woman. She went out with many men, who gave her gifts. However, the girl fooled all of them, so they gathered to chase her and cornered her in the phone booth, where they committed a terrible act against her. The woman's spirit promised to haunt anyone who tried to enter the premises or call the phone number. Suddenly, the little girl enters the cabin, which makes her guardian run to stop her from being attacked at any moment. Fortunately, Yayoi claims she didn't feel anything. Even so, she feels a bad energy emanating from the place. After that, Eiko tries to convince him to make a call to the public telephone, threatening to go inside and bait the haunting. At the same moment, the young man decides to help by making the call, which is quickly answered. On the other end of the line, a voice calls for help, but there is no one in the booth. The situation worsens when terrifying marks begin to appear on the glass around the box, causing the young man to tremble with fear. On the other hand, the little girl is very brave and approaches the compartment, throwing her pet inside. Seconds later, the door closes and the toy mysteriously explodes. As the three run away from the haunted cabin, Yayoi reveals that the plush was not just any doll, suggesting that there was another spirit inside it. Keitaro believes that his student's problem is bad behavior, since she is very intelligent and has excellent grades at school. On the other hand, the girl is only interested in her tutor's supernatural abilities, because he can attract ghosts, while she can only see them. Yayoi has moved in with her cousin because she lost her parents in an accident a long time ago, and Eiko believes she wants to find her perished mother. A few years ago, the little girl was discharged from the doctor's surgery when a second pupil appeared in her eyes. After confessing that she could see both horrible and normal things, no one cared except her mother, who hugged her every time she saw something bad nearby. On a day out, the child noticed a car with an evil spirit approaching, but she didn't have enough time to warn her father to turn away. After the accident, only Yayoi survived, but she suffered a head injury that gave her an IQ of 160. In addition, she realized that she was seeing the real world and the spiritual world, and now she can't tell which world she's seeing, as the two blend together in her vision. Minutes after the accident, the girl wakes up to find an evil presence carrying her mother's soul. On the day of the funeral, the spirit of Yayoi's father was present, but not that of her mother. In order to give her protector a rest, she promises to bring her back. The next day, the girl asks Keitaro out and presents him with a statue of Jizo, which can protect him from enemies. Soon afterwards, the trio goes to the phone booth again. After having his phone blocked by the spirit, Yayoi asks her guardian for help. However, he gets distracted by the terrifying image in the window and is sucked into the place. As he tries to leave, the young man realizes that the door is locked and that footsteps are coming towards him. Suddenly, the telephone cord wraps around his neck and chokes him, causing the statue of Jizo in his arms to fall to the ground. Realizing that the spirit is ignoring even Keitaro's protection, the little girl takes 2 weapons from her back and opens the cabin door. She then picks the statue back up and throws it towards the phone, hitting it with a lethal blow, causing the spirit to scream in despair. Even away from the danger, Keitaro still feels scared, not realizing that Yayoi is hiding the cursed phone inside the stuffed animal. After arriving home, Eiko looks gloomy and admits that she has realized that her friend likes to feel afraid, as she saw his reaction when she tried to call the evil phone. At the same time, the young man believes that his pupil keeps the ghosts away because she can defeat them, making the creatures afraid of her. At the same moment, Yayoi comments on a practice called Kadoku, in which several insects are put to fight until the strongest survives, suggesting that she does this with the spirits. The next day, Keitaro is invited to go to another haunted place, but he declines the invitation, claiming that he wants to visit his grandmother Tuka at the shrine. The girls beg him to accompany them to the place. When he was younger, the young man was cursed and now has to undergo a spiritual procedure frequently, which is performed by Tuka. On arriving at the site, the young man is given a bath by his grandmother, who is irritated by Yayoi's presence, as the girl has destroyed several statues of Jizo. She suddenly tries to attack the little girl, but is stopped by her grandson. In fact, she broke the statues because they held very bad spirits, and one of them could have been the one that took her mother's soul. While grandma begins the procedure, the little girl admits to Eiko that she wants to spy on the ceremony. However, her cousin stops her by revealing the truth about Keitaro's hand. On his skin, there are structures that look like hairs, but they are nerves that grow over time, and this causes him a lot of pain. For this reason, Tuka has the excess nerves removed with the help of an anesthesiologist. After the surgery, Grandma notices Yayoi's interest in haunted things, so she decides to reveal that her shrine works with cursed dolls, which are very threatening and are locked in the basement, where no one is allowed to enter. The ghosts who are locked up there are waiting for an opportunity to find a weak human, so they can invade a body and rest in peace. At the same time, Keitaro walks through the shrine and finds a toy on the floor in front of him. Suddenly, he feels a mysterious urge to go down to the basement on his own, even though he is frail from the surgery. Yayoi is excited by the story of the locked souls, so she decides to go down to the haunted place. What's more, she suspects that her guardian is there and has been possessed by the most evil spirit in the basement. The girl picks up her weapon to save him on her own, as she claims that Tuka is too weak to face the ghost. In the basement, Keitaro wakes up from his hallucination with the evil doll's hair reaching into his mouth and inside his body, so he can't breathe. Just as he is about to pass out, he notices that a sword sheath falls in front of him and he is confronted by Yayoi, who immediately cuts off the creature's hair. With another blow, she hits the monster in the chest and then buries her blade in the ground, pushing the weapon with all her might, which sends the doll's head flying. Afterwards, Eiko and Grandma arrive at the scene in despair. Later, the three of them prepare to leave the shrine and Keitaro confesses to Tuka that his student is helping him with his social skills, so he will always defend her, even if she misbehaves. Upon arriving home, Yayoi invites her guardian to see the collection of spirits in her room. When she opens the door, the young man is startled by the evil presences inside and falls to the floor. Soon after, the little girl reveals that she has brought with her the most powerful doll in the shrine's basement, and that she has wrapped the remains of Keitaro's nerve around the creature so that it can feel pain. Suddenly, he feels someone touch his back, but it's only Eiko. At the same moment, he worries about her living in that house full of spirits, but the teenager reveals that she doesn't care about the collection of common toys in that room. Afterwards, Yayoi makes a bizarre request of her guardian. She insists that he give her his fingernails. The next day, the young man returns to his student's house, but he is still worried about his friend's well-being. Suddenly, the little girl appears with a nail clipper about to cut Keitaro's nails. Soon after, Eiko invites them to visit a tourist site, but the young man suspects that it's a haunted place and doesn't agree to take part in yet another dangerous adventure. Even so, he is frustrated because he believes that his curse could end up affecting the safety of his friends. On the other hand, the brave young women decide to go alone to the horrifying place. Yayoi then confesses to her cousin that she knows how to end the young man's curse. So they decide to go to an abandoned temple in Western H, where there are dozens of statues of Jizo. Along the way, the little girl begins to notice the presence of various evil apparitions, which become more and more frequent as they get closer to the site. At a certain point on the road, she demands that her cousin let her go on alone and asks her not to get out of the vehicle. Furthermore, if she doesn't return within an hour, Eiko must seek help quickly. Yayoi intends to face Kashimojin, a dark goddess who is surrounded by the souls of babies. Even though she wasn't prepared for the fight, the girl went ahead and was attacked by an umbilical cord. Soon after, a statue appears behind her, and the poor girl is thrown to the ground. The baby ghosts start pushing the giant statue towards her, about to crush her. At the same time, Eiko realizes that it's been an hour since her cousin entered the temple and goes out to look for help. Meanwhile, the little girl manages to escape from the battle site and hides in the forest. She checks her injured leg and remembers that the umbilical cord was a piece of a plant, which was created through an illusion. Yayoi takes some strands of her hair and ties them to paper dolls, so that she has extra lives and can use them as bait for the enemy. Suddenly, the spirit of a baby appears silently beside her. In the city, Eiko meets Keitaro in a supermarket, where she asks him to help her save her companion. However, he is still upset with them and doesn't show much interest in helping. Faced with this situation, the teenager reveals that her cousin was looking for something that could remove the young man's curse, which makes him astonished and indignant at their recklessness. In the dark forest of the temple, Kashimojin and her subjects are chasing Yayoi. The creatures get closer and closer, which makes the girl threaten one of the babies made of enchanted paper. The goddess begins to move away, but the children continue to approach. When the enemies advance against the girl, they realize that it was just an illusion transmitted through the paper dolls, which are scattered throughout the forest, easily confusing the spirits. While Yayoi hides, she realizes that the evil babies are attracted to something far away and leave her alone. As Keitaro prepares to enter the temple, he runs into an evil aura. When he reaches the place where his student is hiding, a herd of spirits begins to chase him. So he decides to make a complete circle around the temple, luring the ghosts away in order to leave the entrance free for Yayoi to escape. From inside the property, the girl strikes the evil goddess a blow, removing one of her fingers, which she keeps for herself. At the same moment, Keitaro appears and holds his pupil in his arms to escape the ghosts. At the bottom of the stairs, Eiko is waiting for them with her car and speeds off just as they get into the vehicle. Afterwards, the car is repaired and the young man takes his apprentice back home. On the way, she admits that she considers him a friend and that she has a duty to help him with the curse he carries. When she gets home, Yayoi takes her guardian to her room and explains that the paper and plastic dolls are made from parts of her body, such as hair and nails, so she can trap the spirits inside the toys. What's more, if she suffers any damage, all the imprisoned souls will suffer too, so she can dominate everyone without them trying to escape. The girl then throws her finger of the statue of Kashimojin in the center of the room, claiming to all the monsters trapped there that she was responsible for all the damage they had suffered. At the same moment, the imprisoned ghosts start attacking the goddess. After a few seconds, Kashimojin begs the girl to hand over a piece of her fingernail, so that she will no longer be attacked by the prisoners in the room, since everyone will suffer from the attacks. Soon after, Yayoi reveals to her guardian that she intends to form an army of haunts in order to have enough strength to face the evil monster that took her mother's soul. For this reason, she collects spirits and always looks for the strongest ones. In addition, the girl wants to get the rest of the goddess's statue, so she can use it to defeat the creature attached to Keitaro. That way, he can regain his freedom, as can his friend who has also been bewitched. The little girl proposes that the two of them join forces in the search for the ghosts, as they will be able to use them to confront other evil beings. So, what did you think of this anime? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like and subscribe for more anime recaps. See you next time.